Welcome back, fam. This is the Tronsmart T8 and it's the upgrade over the T7. Now you're probably wondering, what is one of the biggest difference? Well, if you own the T7 and you are always thinking to yourself, if it only had just a little bit more power, well, they got you covered with the T8 with 40 watt output with this little guy right here. This is a fantastic speaker. It's 360 degrees of sound. Basically, all that means, fam, is when you're playing your music, you should be able to hear your music 360 degrees. Looking at the build quality of this, you know what, before we even get into the build quality, did y'all realize how nice this speaker looks? It's a fantastic looking blue. Blue is one of my favorite colors, obviously, if you haven't noticed, but they also come in black and gray. So if you're digging those colors, they got you covered. Now let's get back to the design. Design looks fantastic. It is a bit of the standard look for a 360 degree speaker. You have the fabric all the way around. You have your branding. The bottom is where they switch things up. Instead of just putting that passive radiator on the bottom, they put a bass driver on the bottom here. It's the largest driver. And you have this silicone feet. So regardless of where you sit this, it should be able to stand up just fine. Now your passive radiators are in the inside on the sides this time, which is a very clever design. And then you also get two more drivers. So this is a 2.1 Bluetooth speaker. Now the top, you're gonna have your volume, and yes, it is labeled volume and then minus and plus. You were probably like me when I first got this. I'm like, I'm gonna accidentally be turning up the volume too much or accidentally turn it down. And actually that was not the case, because there's a bit of resistance here with the volume knob, and they did that on purpose so you won't accidentally, I turned my music up too loud, or I turned it down. There's a bit of resistance, so when you actually do move it, y'all hear that click? You have to intentionally try to turn it, which is a very great design. Now, I know y'all want to hear how this speaker sounds, so I have a little test for you. We're going to hear it at 50%, and then we're going to hear it at 100%. And y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comments below.
Every year you and me, that's all I wanna hear. I follow you.
Now, I thought that sound test sounded just fine for a speaker this size. If you're wondering, you're saying to yourself, well, wasn't that bass punchy? Well, that's because there is a bass EQ on this speaker, and that actually wasn't used during this test. More on that when we get to the app. Now, when you're using this speaker outdoors, which is clearly made to be used outdoors and indoors, if it starts raining or anything like that, there's no need to fear. It's IPX7 rated, which means if the speaker gets a little wet, you don't got to be concerned. It can definitely take a little bit of rain. You're going to be good to go. So what about connection? Connecting to this speaker is simple. Via Bluetooth, obviously that's the main way you're going to be using the speaker. It has a 3.5 audio port. It has a TF/micro SD card. Now when you're playing music outside of the Bluetooth, let's just say you're using the aux 3.5 or the micro SD. When you insert the micro SD, it's going to prioritize that, okay? You plug in the aux cable, it's going to prioritize that. So there's no button or anything you need to press. Once you plug it in, it's going to notice that, and it's going to say, hey, this is the mode that I'm in. Charging it, listening to your music, that's a whole nother story. They have you at 18 hours of battery life, but hold up, we got to be real about that. It's a little LED in here. When you have that LED on and you're listening to your music at volume levels higher than 50%, you are not gonna get 18 hours, okay? So that 18 hours is based off of listening to your music at about 50% and with the LED light off. When it comes to charging the speaker, your battery indicator is actually the power button. One more thing about the power button, by the way, when you press the power button, the speaker will not instantly turn on when you press the power button. You have to hold it down for about 2 seconds, and they do that just in case you accidentally press the power button, but it also serves as a battery indicator. So when you plug in your USB-C to charge it, the power button will give you that indication of your battery. So if it's red, it's charging, and so on. Now, when it comes to portability, it weighs right under 2 pounds. You can put it in your backpack. So if you're walking around, you just need to carry it from point A to point B, and you don't want to have it in your hands, you can put it in a backpack. It has a nice little strap on it. It's about 5 inches or so, and you can just carry it over your shoulder or just carry it in your hand. And the versatility of how you can carry this speaker is just endless. So it fits in bags and it has a strap. Can't beat that, fam. Now the app is where you can really bring this speaker to life. This speaker also has stereo pairing. So if you have another T8, you can stereo pair them. But the app is simplistic, but it's definitely a nice app that you definitely want to download if you get this speaker. First, you can control your music, play, pause, you can skip. It does give you the battery indication in the app to let you know how much battery life your speaker has. EQ, like I said, if you want more bass, there's the EQ for it there. But if you want to customize it and kind of lock in what you want, it has a custom 5-band EQ, which is really nice. All your LEDs up here at the top, it's about 3 different modes you can choose from. And if yes, you can turn off the LEDs altogether. Now, if you're not in the app, you can still control those LEDs by just tapping the power button to toggle through which LED you want. Very nice. You can also turn off the speaker via the app. So the app is very useful, but either way, if you want to use the app or not, they made it to where you can easily assess most things, even just from the speaker. Now, looking at all the buttons on here, you obviously have the power. They added the Bluetooth button for the T8, which I always like when they add the Bluetooth button. Your skip, your play, your minus, and then you have your sound pulse button. This only toggles between 2 different EQs. I wish it at least did 3, but when you press it, it does light up. So if it's not illuminated, that means it is not activated. I just wish for the play, pause, and the skip left and right, I wish those buttons did illuminate. So when you're using this at nighttime, you'll be able to see those buttons as well. But unfortunately, they do not. And if you're wondering what the speaker comes with, yes, it comes with the manual, and it comes with a USB-C to A cable for charging. This is a great speaker. I believe it sounds good. And yes, I do recommend it. If you already have the T7 and you're a little bit on the fence about the T8, just ask yourself, do you want a little bit more power? Then the T8 would be the way to go. But it's a fantastic speaker. And if you're considering buying a Bluetooth speaker that's 360 degrees, this should definitely be a speaker that you are considering. Until next time, fam, I'm Dave Banter. This is the Tronsmart T8. We out.